This is a video for Vision Flex, and this is going to cover warehouse picking, single picking, so single order picking, not bulk picking, just single order. That's order by order. You can access this functionality in the system using the warehouse picking, and then when you select in here, you'll select the picking, the top option. Obviously we're not looking at bulk picks at the moment, we're looking at single picks, and if you hit single, you'll then be presented with a number of options, and the options are that you can automatically get the next delivery, the next order, the next collection, or you can put in a specific order unique identifier, so order number. So it's entirely up to you how you use this. The way the VW system will work is if you say next order, it will give you the next in sequence on a first come first pick basis. However, you can change the pick priority. That pick priority would then put orders ahead of others. So we would always pick the highest group first, oldest, newest, then the next group, then the next group. By default, all orders have a priority of 5. In order to get the order on the screen to pick it, you just simply select the option you want. In this case, I'm going to select next order. The system will automatically then pick the items, and it will present you with a summary of the order to be picked. You can see here at the top we've got order number 493. We've got that there's 7.1 to 18.9 kilos, so it's one case, and it also shows below that it's one full case, one single. If you hit the view option here, you can see what's on the order if you wanted to see it, but in the bottom section here we've got the ability that we can pick in different sequences. Now in a standard pick note you will just get a location pick priority, so it will simply say go to here, go to the one next to it, go to the one next to it, go to the one next to it. Very simple. If you use it here, you can do the same by location, and it will give you location by pick location in the warehouse. If you do it by product, it will do you by product code and basically alphabetically. If you ask for by product group, what we can do is you can put a product into a product group, and then you can specify the picking sequence of that group. So you could simply have heavy items to be picked first, light items to be picked last, or if you want it in a different specific order, anything you want by pick group. If you want it by weight, that is very specific, each item, and the heaviest is first, the lightest is last. And the final option here is the aisle. Now although this shows that we're going to pick from aisle 10, if you were standing next to aisle 42 and you had aisle 42 as one of the areas you pick from, you could simply select that aisle and say I'll start here, and you can, instead of picking from aisle 10 upwards, you can simply say I'm going to pick from 42 and then I'll just go downwards and do the opposite way. So if you're happy to accept the option, you simply can hit the continue button and the system will then load what you have to pick. On this screen here it shows you the location you got to go to, which is R10A2. It shows you the aisle row and height below that. If this location in this warehouse was using check digits, you would also have some additional options in here where you should be scanning the check digit and the barcode, and that would automatically take you to the next page here. If you're not using barcodes and rotation digits, you can simply hit next and it will move you to the next screen. If you find that you can't scan the barcode, the check digit should simply be on the label anyway. You will have the option here to type in the location check digit manually. Once it verifies that, it moves on to the next one, which is going to tell you what to pick from. And we're going to pick from the rotation number 210034. Generally at this point again you would scan the rotation label, it will automatically fill the rotation field in, and then you would go next and move on to the next. However, on this screen it also shows you some other interesting information. So let's assume you can't find the stock, you're not sure what it is. It tells you the product, the singles per case, single size and case per pallet, the packaging that it's in, the vintage, any particular batch or best before dates, any notes against that rotation, and it also tells you that the system thinks there's 17 in that location. And you can simply hit the I button on the right hand side of that, and it will then show you how many you've got in stock and how many are on your pick. If there's other orders being picked at the same time, you'll also see those in the other orders being picked column, because it could be that you arrive at the location and find there's only 14 there, but actually when you look it shows somebody else has been picking those items. If you're quite happy with it here and you've scanned the rotation in, you can hit the next and move on. If you can't scan it, you can simply say the no label button, and that will then move you on to the next to tell you how much to pick. On this occasion I am actually going to type in the rotation number manually, and then I'm going to hit the next button and move on from there. It's now basically saying in that location for that rotation, which is this product, we want you to pick one single. So no cases, one single. If there were any notes for this product line, you would see the notes below it in the notes field. So it could be something as simple as please wrap this in black cling wrap, or please take extra special care of this bottle, take the dust off. Any sort of special individual line instructions will be shown. And at the bottom here, what it's waiting for is you to actually confirm the quantity that you have picked. So I'm going to simply go and say I have picked one single bottle. When I hit the next button here, it then takes me to a screen that allows me to sort of say, right, this is what you've picked, this is how many are left in that location, and it allows you to print labels. And even at this point it will allow you to print a pallet label. Now pallet labels can be printed now, or they can be printed at the end, or they can, if you don't want them, don't print them. Dispatch labels, again, every time you run a line you can then print a dispatch label for that line. It might be a case and you're labeling every case. You can also choose the quantity, although we say quantity 1 because we're dispatching one item. You can alter that to suit yourself as well. If you notice a discrepancy, you can also create a VIM. Now VIM is Vision Issue Manager. It's a web-based tool. All our customers have access to this. It's essentially a ticket system that records losses in stores, pick discrepancies, receipt discrepancies. It allows you to create a ticket system where you can manage your customers better. So you can add things such as the ability for customers to request stock takes, to ask questions on it. You can also record delivery discrepancies through it as well. So there's quite a number of functions that you can use it for, and it also gives you the ability to work out whether you're going to have a claim for something that's been lost, stolen, missing, broken, or whether you've got the chances of a recharge back to potentially a customer or a supplier. If everything's fine on this screen, again we'll just hit the next button and we'll move on to the final screen, and it's now telling me to go to row 10 A4. Again, no check digit here. I'm going to move to that location. On this one I'm going to say there's no label, and it's telling me the product, everything that's in there. There's 3 cases there. I'm going to go next again. It's telling me to pick one case, so on this one I'm going to pick 0, 1, 0. You can change, of course, if you don't pick the correct quantity. You can simply just change the quantity you've picked, and what the system will then do is it will adjust the quantity dispatched to the quantity you say you've picked. So the only manual input you've got on a picking line here is what did you actually pick, the quantity. You have to put that in, you have to confirm it. On this one again, I'm going to hit the next. I get the same screen up telling me that there's basically 2 cases left. I've picked one. Do I want some labels? Assuming that I don't want labels, you'll notice I've now got the finish button at the bottom because there's nothing else to pick. And when I hit finish, the system then takes me to the finalize screen, and that will allow me to then print another pallet label, or my first pallet label, and on this pallet label it then allows me to put on how many pallets or pallets I have, and allows me to print out a single or multiple order pallet label. If it's a single order label, it will print the number, the order number on it. If it's multiple order, it actually then states how many orders are on the multiple order label. If I don't want anything here, I can simply ignore it, hit the finish button, and the goods have now been picked. What we've done at the moment is we've taken an order, we've picked it, we've confirmed the figures that we've picked, but what we haven't done is we haven't actually confirmed pick. So the goods are still in stock, they're showing as in picking at the moment, we know the quantities, that's it. Because my settings on the system said I'm not going to auto confirm any pick, it means that I have to do this manually, and to do this manually I simply have to go into the confirmation option and select single, and I can simply put the pick UID in and then retrieve it, or I can do something such as review everything that's there, and you can see this is the order I've picked, hit select and then retrieve that one. And the retrieval of this then allows me to show at the bottom here how many full pallets, how many cases, how many singles I should have. If I want to look at the details of what those products are, I can simply hit details. If I've put those in a specific location, it'll have a locator on it, so I can simply put them in a marshalling location. Generally the locators are used for the bulk picks, so that when a bulk pick is done, you'll pick a number of items and put them into like pallet 1, pallet 2, pallet 3, or marshalling area 1, 2, 3. In this one I'm just doing a simple check, so pick UID 377. If I had the pallet label, I could scan this, hit the word retrieve, and simply go, okay, that's the quantity, that's correct. I hit confirm, and that is it. The pick confirmation is successful. So one person can do the picking, one person can do the pick confirmation, which is the checking stage. So both can do different stages here, or you can use the system to do it automatically, pick confirm, or you can have one person doing everything. So that's a single picking. If you're interested in seeing how the bulk pick works, there's a separate video for that which you can find on the channel.